welcome to another episode of Beer for Breakfast ABV. I am Danielle from Marty in the Mornings on 91X. As always, I have my beer drinking partner in crime with me, Paul Segura, brewmaster of Karl Strauss. We are super stoked to welcome Mackenzie and Caesar from Burgeon Brewing Company. They are helping us kick off San Diego Beer Week. It's amazing to think that it's already time for San Diego Beer Week. We officially kick it off on November 6th with a virtual toast, and then on Saturday, we'll have the Hops and Harvest dinner pairing, which we'll totally get into that. But welcome, Mackenzie and Caesar.
Thank you so much, Danielle. It is awesome to be here on Beer for Breakfast with you and Paul. Thank you for having us.
My favorite South Bay muse right here.
Oh my gosh.
Great to have you on the show.
Cheers, you guys.
So let's get right into this. We are starting things off with the Capital of Craft. This is a West Coast IPA. I don't know why we would have anything else for San Diego's Capital of Craft, but let's get right into this. Where did the inspiration come from? How did this all come together?
It's actually, honestly, such a great collaboration to be a part of. I think this is the 4th year that San Diego, the Brewers Guild, has hosted this mega collaboration where a number of breweries get together and come up with an IPA that really represents, there you go, Paul, showing the can. An idea that really represents what the collaborative craft beer spirit here in San Diego.
Hand model for sure.
And
look at just the all-star lineup that we have here, the who's who of craft beer. I mean, it's really wonderful to watch those guys operate in the same room. There's a lot of collaborations. We're barely involved. I feel like a lot of people think that collaborations, and sometimes they can be just people showing up, people drinking, people hanging out. But I feel like Anthony really takes these things so seriously, and he loves to learn from everybody. And I think that's what makes Anthony the brewer he is. He's still finding ways to get better, still finding ways to grow. And when you see a collaboration happen, like here at Burgeon or somewhere else, he's just soaking up information, and he's learning from the guys that inspired him to be the brewer he is right now. So it was kind of cool watching the collection of people roll through the brewery going, oh, yep, I love your place. Yep, I love your place. Yep, I love your place. And I cannot wait to drink what you guys are about to put out.
I get the same way. I mean, I totally feel what you just said right now. Every time we do a collaboration or we're part of a collaboration, it's, it kind of goes back to that sort of synergy of, I don't know, music and breweries. We're all just making different music, right? And we can be fans of each other's music, and we can share riffs, and that's what makes San Diego the capital of craft. We've all behaved this way for such a long time, and it's a beautiful thing. I hope it never changes.
that's really well said. I want to list off the names here of all of the breweries involved, because just a couple of points that really tie to what you just said, Paul. We had Chula Vista Brewery.
Shout out Tim.
Modern Times Beer, Resident Brewing Co., Automatic Brewing Co., South Park Brewing Co., Northern Pine Brewing, and Five Suits Brewing Co. And it was really exciting because I think Five Suits is perhaps the youngest. Five Suits and Chula, they were super young breweries. I think Five Suits started
just down the road here. Five Suits. Really, I mean,
Nick Candy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick's got such a reputation, and I think his beers live up to that reputation. And it's, no one dreams of opening up a brewery during a pandemic, and they've made it work. That location is gorgeous. It has such a unique feel, like the way that they tie it in, Nick's background in the casino industry and just how welcoming they are. I feel like, it's really cool to have industry veterans that have been doing this thing, that have basically helped create San Diego beer, like Lee Chase, all the way down to new guys like Nick, who prolific home brewers who now finally are walking into their own. It's a really cool collection of people, and the beer definitely showcases what we do well in San Diego. It's new style, IPA, IPA, if you will. It's just, yeah, it's so fun, and it was a good honor for us to host it, and yeah, I can't wait for everybody to get their hands on this.
And that's one of the things that I personally love the most about San Diego Beer Week is it is 10 days, because there's no 7-day weeks when it comes to beer, 10 days of San Diego brewers getting together, celebrating San Diego beer. And look, yeah, we're in the middle of this really weird year, but it's not stopping anyone. It's not slowing anyone down. You guys are part of the Hops and Harvest that is happening at Casbah. It is a beer and dinner pairing. Tickets are on sale right now. You want to get your tickets by November 5th to get in on this, but it's really, really cool. It's 6 courses. There are beers paired up with food. It all comes from Mijo's Catering. This beer right here, the Capital of Craft, it is being paired with a pork green curry, and it's got jasmine rice. Paul is getting in on there. I don't want to talk with my mouth full.
We need to get the food.
But it's going to be a really, really cool night. Marty and I will be hosting it from the Casbah. There will be live music from Low Volt as well as Johnny and the Wagons. It's going to be an awesome night. You can get your tickets at sdbeer.com. Burgeon is providing all of the beer for these pairings. So you'll get your beer and you'll get your food delivered to your home for the Hops and Harvest presented by Saquon and the San Diego Brewers Guild. So that is on Saturday, November 7th. Get your tickets by November 5th. The next beer we're having, everybody's Juicin Hazy IPA, is also going to be part of the pairing.
Yeah. And before I forget, I don't want to, super huge thanks to BSB and Night Labs, providers of all the ingredients for the beer. Wow, it's really weird to get my beer. We couldn't do this without them, so huge thanks to them for all the ingredients and for what they do to San Diego.
Yeah, so, I'd like to touch on that real quick too. There are some really good hops in this. There's Cashmere and El Dorado, and can't remember. There's 2 other varieties, right?
And Galaxy.
Yep.
Yes. Those are really good varieties, and they come together really well. I mean, you've got a lot of really nice citrus and tropical, and then there's like this melon component to it. Yeah, cheers to those guys for donating. Not just like cheap ingredients. There's some great hops in there.
Yeah.
And you bring up a really great point too, because when you talk about that, the ingredients and the hops in this recipe, that was actually all done collaboratively and virtually. So while this year has just been a little different than the Capital of Craft collaborations in the past, this year we handled all the selection recipe build virtually, and then we hosted an in-person collaboration here, which was, of course, socially distant. Everyone was required to wear a mask, and of course, you're drinking beer. And it was really an amazing and uplifting experience having everyone here at the brewery in person for what was our first in-person collab since the pandemic struck. So really awesome opportunity.
Yeah, and again, like you said, the way that it certainly isn't a bad collection of hops, but the way these guys brought it together, it's pinpoint perfect. It has that old school resiny bitterness, a little bit, not like too malt forward, but it has that in there. But then that new wave pine, that papaya, that what Paul was talking about, it's just, I love this. It's a perfectly balanced IPA. I might drink my 4-pack by myself. I will.
Capital of Craft comes out for San Diego Beer Week. It comes out on November 7th. It will be available in cans across the county. You can find out where it is going to be in the beer locator at sdbeer.com. That is the Brewers Guild's website. You can also download the app for free in the App Store, finding out what's going on.
And huge thanks to our San Diego Beer Week sponsor this year, Saquon Casino and Resort. They're making a lot of this happen, so huge thanks to them. Man, I've been out there. That place is nice. I really want that Padre suite as soon as I get over the heartbreak. Too bad baseball this year.
Ouch. You're ready to move on to everybody's Juicin?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get this out of the way.
guess that's the better way to do it.
Can I love that.
All credit to this wonderful, talented human being right here, Mackenzie, who is responsible for this design. And again, the camera thing is really throwing me off.
Thank you. This can was actually inspired by the tropical fruit flavors, you know, the aromatic and the tasting experience that we get from this beer. We kind of worked backwards from that. We were like, what do we get? We get mango. We get a little bit of like Sauvignon Blanc from the nuts, and we get like super juicy tropical fruit, and that's where we went with the can design. So,
you remember that juicy fruit gum? It's like popping one of those in your mouth, except the flavor doesn't go away in like 13 seconds like that gum used to do. It was the worst experience ever. You were so excited, and then it was like gone. This just lingers. That soft coating mouthfeel just kind of hangs on, and like I feel like the flavors just start to accentuate the more that you drink, the more flavors you pick out of it, and the brighter it gets.
Well, and also as it quote unquote warms up, gets a little bit more room temperature, not as cold, you definitely pick those out.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys just finished this on Monday, right? Of this week. It tastes super fresh. I get a lot of stone fruit, and I get some mango, a little passion fruit, and then some orange. It's got a lot going on. Really nice.
I mean, that was freshly canned yesterday morning. So you guys got that overnight treatment.
I shared this beer with Marty already, my morning show partner, and I wish I had taken a picture of him when he took the first drink because his eyes got really big, and then his mouth, oh my gosh. And I was like, I know, right?
Yeah. I saved my first can for Preston after his ride yesterday, and I was so stoked just to watch his reaction. He was like, dude. I was like, yeah, dude is right.
And Burgeon makes amazing beers across the board as it is, but you guys seem to really excel in the hazy category. I don't want to like pinpoint you as a hazy brewery by any means because you're not. I mean, Travana is one of my favorite IPAs. It's on my Mount Rushmore of IPAs. But you really, really excel in these hazies. And they're never too sweet. They're not big, giant yeast bombs. They don't make you go like afterwards like some hazies do. I mean, Anthony and the team over there at Burgeon killing it.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony, Casey, and Brian, they don't get enough credit for what they do because, you know, thank you. I mean, honestly, that's a huge compliment. And I do love how talented these guys are in every facet, you know, everything from our clean, crisp Pistol Pilsner to Travana, like you talked about. And even this guy that we just put out, our Dutchman's Rose. Like we make a good, consistent style of beer across every style you talk about. But there is something about the hazies, and he just has a way of creating a really good drinkability factor. There's not a heaviness, there's not a turbidity to it. I'm comfortable drinking more than one, as opposed to a good portion of hazies where I'm like, all right, half a pint, maybe a pint, I'm done. But I can have more than one of these, and it has that old school like still bitterness at the back end, and I don't see that in a lot of hazies. So yeah, I give credit. This team is so wonderful when they do these.
Well, and to kind of continue that thought here, that approach to the Hazy IPA is a big reason why we wanted to include this in the lineup for the beer menu with the upcoming beer dinner, the Hops and Harvest, because, you know, we really think that the interaction between food and beer is just really, really exciting. And this particular course is Paul showing off the curry. Course was so good. We are with everybody's Juicin. I think it's persimmon and goat cheese. Right? Oh my goodness.
Goat cheese and persimmon.
Oh, goodness.
Oh yeah, look
gracious.
At that. I wish everyone could hear, like, see your art.
How is it that I'm the only person that has some of this right now?
I'm very upset by this.
Well,
Tingles in here.
I've been doing beer dinners for a long, long time, like 25 years. That everybody's juicing with this green curry sauce is an amazing pairing. It really is.
Hear that.
I feel guilty that I'm the only person having this pairing right now.
Well, what I love about this is you paired the wrong beer with the wrong food.
I paired it first with the Capital of Craft, and it was pretty good. I thought it was solid. The Capital of Craft is dry and crisp and clean, and it kind of washes the curry flavor from your mouth a little bit and leaves you, fresh for another bite and another sip. But I think the Everybody's Juicin actually complements the flavors really nicely. So I think on one hand, you got Capital of Craft that kind of cleanses your palate and sort of contrasts the food a little bit, but then Everybody's Juicin kind of complements it.
Well, it's awesome that you pointed that out, because when you get your ticket, you can either select a 4-course beer and dinner pairing, or you can opt for an optional 5th course. And so you can really experience, you get a mixed 4-pack that includes all the different beers involved, or a bottle of the Dutchman's Rose Imperial Stout. And having all of those beers in front of you allows you to really experience the beer and the food with everything kind of laid out. So you can really explore what those different nuances and flavors do for each other throughout the entire meal.
Wow. I think it's going to be cool for people to play around and like experience this. Like the pairings are spot on, but like Mackenzie said, you can kind of work your way through it at your own pace and kind of mix and match. And I think that's the beauty of this, no one wants to be in the situation that we're in, but just like every business has come to learn this year, you adapt and you adjust and you figure out ways to survive and be creative and be original. And I feel like this is a really cool component, and it's keeping something going that we all miss and love so much. Like, we all long for these things, and they're finding a ways to kind of keep that going.
Well, oh yes, Danielle.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's going to be an amazing night. It is going to be one of those nights that if you don't get your ticket to, you are going to see people across San Diego talking about this on your social media. You're going to see the photos. You're going to see the screenshots, and you're going to be like, man, why did I not get my tickets for Hops and Harvest kicking off San Diego Beer Week? Do not sit on getting your tickets.
The Casbah, come on, for God's sakes, the Casbah on the entertainment. Who doesn't want? And who are the official MCs?
That would be Marty and Danielle on the morning of 91X. We will be emceeing it. The musical guests are Low Volt as well as Johnny Wagon and the Tennessee Suns. You will get dinner. You will get food. You do this from the comfort of your home, and you get live music along with it. Those tickets are up at sdbeer.com, and they're linked at 91x.com as well.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, don't miss out.
Those are great bands. I've seen them both live. They're amazing.
Cool.
And, shout out to Miho. These guys have been doing great food for a long time. They've had a gastro truck, man. These guys have been putting out good food for a long time, too. And
such a variation of food. Like, they were one of my first introductions to, like, really good vegan food in San Diego. And I'm paying a lot because, as you can tell, I'm a full figure. I'm not much of a vegan, but...
a mijo too, though.
What's that?
You're kind of a mijo.
Oh man.
No.
My dream journal.
All right, I'm gonna let the two of you get a room while Mackenzie and I finish these beers. Real quick before I end this with you guys, can you give us a quick update on what's going on with Burgeon? Last time we talked, Little Italy was announced, and we're just kind of like sitting here waiting. I keep following on social media. Can you give us anything?
Oh yeah. So I want to say first and foremost, to wrap up the SD Beer Week, we're actually having a virtual cheers that is throughout the entire craft beer community in San Diego. But here at Burgeon, because we are the brewery that hosted the brew day for Capital of Craft, we are actually having a release of a cask version of the Capital of Craft IPA that is juiced up with a bunch of tropical fruit It honestly is going to be like this loud pink color, and we cannot wait. So the details about that are TBD, but please join us on Friday, November 6th at 7 p.m. for that virtual toast on Instagram at Burgeon Beer. But additionally, and I'll speak really quickly to the Oasis, which we are so thrilled about. This happened incredibly fast. And I'm going to hand the torch off to Caesar here to discuss the Oasis, because I know this is your stomping ground.
Yeah, so we're so happy we had the opportunity. COVID hit hard for a lot of people, and unfortunately one of those was Escondido Brewing Company, but that opened an opportunity for us to take over. And I mean, this building, the feed store, has been in that family for, I think, over 50 years now. And it's just a beautiful little outdoor beer garden. And I think it's just a natural fit for us, that little outdoorsy, the natural woods, tied into a feed store. Well, where do you want? But it's just a gorgeous space. It fits a niche and a need in Escondido that I think is long overdue. There's some cool places there. A little place called Stone, maybe you've heard of it.
I really hope they make it, man.
Yeah.
I'm for them.
Yeah. There's some cool drinking places in Escondido, Plan 9 being one of them. But it's going to be nice to just have our own touch, and it's going to come quickly. I think in the next month, because we're being tentative, we're going to have that place opening up. So stay tuned. Follow the social media post over here, and we'll lead you on the cool adventure. But we're just putting the Burgeon touch on it. As Dylan would say, we are adding trees and green stuff.
Yes, I love that. Well, Mackenzie, Caesar, thank you so much for joining us for Beer for Breakfast ABV. We love you and Burgeon and everything that is done over there. Please send our love to everybody in Carlsbad. And Friday morning, Paul will be joining Marty and I for Beer for Breakfast. We will be drinking the Capital of Craft and everybody's Juicin Hazy IPA. That is at 9:10 Friday morning on 91X in San Diego. And let's do one big, huge cheers to independently owned craft beer in San Diego, along with radio for Beer Week.
Cheers. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
91X.